Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's your boy Ro of Gilly coming back at you with another video in our DC Dark Legion early access coverage series. Today we're going to be talking about one of the league events, the Umbral Rift activities. Now, these events, they only last 2 hours. They come around on a scheduled basis. You're matched with other teams by what cities you're defending. So it's already kind of got a lot of layers to it. And all of the battles that take place in this event are in the style of coordinated assaults or the wars, if you're more familiar with them by this name. But, these Los Angeles coordinated assaults, blah, blah, blah. So this is kind of how the event runs, is like those. And we're going to get into the event here in just a second so that y'all can see kind of what it looks like, how it functions. But I kind of wanted to give you the brief rundown on kind of how it works. So when you rank in your city, so right now this is for Los Angeles, which is one of like the most highly contested ones, you're looking at personal rewards in the league contribution resource based on the points that you score for your league during the event. And then based on your league's ranking, you're going to get these league rewards. So every city is a little different. We are currently, I believe, in St. Roach. Where is it at? Oh, so these are all the Los Angeles boss levels. See, there's a lot going on with these events. And it's actually kind of hard to keep track of, and that's going to be one of the critiques we have at the end of the video. But essentially, you're able to jump into it right here from your home base screen. And what it does is it shows you all the different cities when they launch. So right now we're part of the St. Roach attack squad. We're trying to fight the 7 for control, and they are beating the brakes out of us. And we're going to kind of get into why they're doing so well as we kind of play through this event as well. So we got 30 minutes left. You'll see it starts off in a home base. We're right next to a city. Now, how the scoring for this event works. You get squads that you can use based on the vehicles that you have. So for Fox Point, this is one of the cities we're going to have to take over. I'm going to launch one here. Now, the problem is I don't have the most engaged league, and that's partially my fault. I haven't been doing a great job of building it. But typically in early access for mobile games, these leagues and things aren't so pivotally important. However, I can tell you with certainty that the league interaction for these events is super important. They're called coordinated assaults, and these are really coordinated assaults. So let's move ahead before we jump too deep into any one facet of this, and let's talk about how you score points. So scoring points is a facet of points gained over time. When you hold a city, that city is going to give you 10 points every 10 seconds. And then there are bonuses and things you get for owning more cities as well. And if you inspect the city, it tells you what squads you have to defeat in order to take out one guard unit. So for every 3 of these you beat as a coordinated assault as a league, you're going to take out one of these points. Once all 50 points are taken out, you own the city, and then these guys are defending the city for you, trying to defend it from another league. Now, you'll notice the 7 here is kicking our butts. They took our own home base. And this is a facet of we don't have a lot of people playing right now. And that's going to be one of my critiques at the end of this video, so stick around. But basically, if you can't get a vast number of your league engaged in this small 2-hour window, you're probably going to get smashed like we're getting smashed. We're barely active, and we're beating all the other leagues, so it shows you that there's not very many truly engaged leagues right now in the early access portion of the game. But the ones that are, holy crap, they are racking up points. And as we explore this map is actually pretty huge, and you'll see there's a bunch of different cities. You can actually see in some instances where other enemies' bases are. You can't conquer their bases, which I think would be a cool way to earn points. Again, the game is still in early access, so that's one of those things where maybe that'll change as they develop the game a bit more. Here we go. Here's the base for the 7. Now, you'll notice that there's all these banks as we scroll across here, and you have towns and cities. The towns and cities give you points. What the banks allow you to do is every time you conquer a bank, you're going to get plus 2 points every 10 seconds. And then those add more points to your personal rewards. So these are a way to just kind of tack on points while you're coordinating your assaults on these bigger cities so that your league can really extend their reach and gain massive points over time. Now, Uh, where this starts getting even more complicated is how you use your teams. So you'll notice we set up one team at our coordinated assault for our home base city that we got to try to take back. Um, which it looks like I have some people online. Let's see if we can invite them, get them to join up. Because we only need 3 to win. As long as all 3 can beat a 50k squad, then you don't have to worry about it. And if you win, your units don't go on cooldown. But again, we'll get deep into the weeds on that stuff with the units and things here in just a second. So the first thing I want to point out is the importance of vehicles. If you're wondering where vehicles are really going to come into play, this seems to be the #1 game mode for it. As when you attack a place, it's going to ask you to prompt you to create a squad. You're going to put your squad in. We're going to use some Gotham villains with Black Adam here, and we're going to send them out. But you need to send them with a vehicle. So our base vehicle is occupied doing the coordinated assault, so we need to use the T-Jet, the extra vehicle, to make these other runs. So getting vehicles in this game is going to determine how many teams you can actively send out at a time. Now, we sent that team here, and again, just like with the other points, you can see just by looking at them what you need to be able to conquer that zone. These only have 1 defender. We beat it. Bing, bang, boom. We're good to go. Zoom. You have a cooldown period where you have to hold the zone. Another team can come and try to take this bank from me while I am garrisoning there, which is what the term for it is. And then I would have to contest that zone. And hopefully my team is better than their team, and then we would win. And you do get battles, or points rather, for beating other teams in battles on contested zones. But you can't always bank on a win. You do get points for participating, but if you're always trying to contest and you're losing zones, or you could be taking other zones and you're contesting these zones way outside of your range, that's not going to help you very much. So the name of the game is just kind of every time a bank pops up, you should have 1 jet going and taking these banks, while you have at least 1 other team, kind of focused on cities. Now, again, my alliance or my league is not very active right now, so we're going to lose. There's no way for us to take over these coordinated assault points. And that's really where we're going to get into the pros and cons of this game mode. So, first of all, when you lose a match, your characters go on cooldown. So, like, if we had enough, see, we didn't have enough teams to even attempt it, so they just sent us right back. But say we had 2 teams out of the 3, it would let us go in and attempt to win the 3 battles between those 2 teams. But if we lose, all of our units go on a cooldown. And they do have a certain amount of energy per day, where if they're knocked out too many times, then you have to wait over time for this energy stamina to replenish. And then that could really shoot you in the foot. So you want to make sure that every single one of your teams that you send out there is capable of clearing what you're sending them to do, and that you're not throwing away attempts and throwing away energy on these characters on losses that are going to be like guaranteed losses. So the importance here is twofold. You want to have multiple vehicles, and you need to have a couple good squads. Now, I only have 1 really good squad. I've built way into my Justice League characters, but I have a decent backup Justice League team because of that. And then I also have a decent villains team. Now, as of right now in the game, there's no reason to build multiple teams except for game modes like this, where you need to send out multiple squads. Generally speaking, you can send out lower level squads on patrols and they do just fine. Like, you don't have to put a lot of investment into them beyond like level 30, 40 for most auto patrol things in the early game to work. However, if you want to get the dubs in this Guardian Challenge, you're going to have to come correct. So, that being said, some critiques just on this game mode, some things that I feel could really, really, really help keep players engaged, because this is an interesting game mode, but the fact that there's always such a small window is the #1 thing I really want to talk about. The fact that you only have 2 hours throughout the day to get in here, knock everything out, and try to get the win is actually super restrictive in my opinion. I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it like a race, a contest. Like, how fast can you get through this thing? They put it on a Saturday, and they do it. You schedule the times. But when your leagues can have over 100 members, it seems kind of hard to get everyone to participate at a certain time. unless you have a Discord. There is an in-game chat. It has not worked very well for me today trying to get people engaged. It's mostly just these crappy expired things, me shouting into the void. So if you want to win these and you want to get these big rewards, I have a strong feeling you're going to need to not only have a very active league, but you're also going to have to be in a very active Discord so that everyone can coordinate what cities they're going for. And it's tough. I really wish they're going to need to find a way also to fix the chat system so that we can send alerts as league leaders to people that are online but not in the event to say, hey, we're doing this, right? So, big critiques, longer join windows, prominent alerts in the base screen, not just the little thing in the bottom corner, something that says, hey, this is a league event, maybe something in your vehicle thing that says, hey, your teams are needed here. They should be shouting this to the moon at everybody in your league and not just giving you this little event window in the bottom. This event also, I feel like, needs a more interactive game mode. Like just sending tunes out, waiting 5 minutes, waiting 2 minutes, waiting 3 minutes. That's all well and good. But if we're losing and we still need people to stay engaged so that they can get points for our team, there's got to be something more interactive. I'm thinking something like those Guardian Challenge boss battles that we do daily for the different resources. Give me like one of those guys. Every 5-10 minutes it pops up somewhere random on the map, and everyone who goes and fights them gets a personal reward and a league reward. Something like that, just so that it's not always kind of mid-game or mid-range AFK gameplay where, you click on a spot, you select a thing, and you just go do this for 2 hours, right? Like, this isn't the most engaging gameplay unless you're in a really engaged league like the people we're playing here in St. Roach with the 7. They are clearly super engaged. They are, coordinating their assaults, and they're going to smash. They're going to get tons of rewards based on their ranking and their progress because they put in so much effort. So, this is definitely a mode where you need your whole league to be engaged, and I just feel like they could get easily more engagement just by throwing in little random events that pop up throughout the map that's like, hey, boss battle, come beat this boss and get points. And then it's like an actual fight like we experience in the campaign modes, the open world, and the arena system, things like that, where we can be more engaged and use our tunes to actually fight while we have other tunes out there going and capping zones like cities and banks and getting us bonus points. So in conclusion, these Umbral Rifts, these are not terrible events. I don't think that most people are going to have a lot of fun in these Umbral Rifts unless they either widen the participation window or find some better ways to help league leaders coordinate their leagues. In-game chats are rough. Getting people to join Discords are rough. So, like, finding some way to, aside from just this little Umbral Rift thing here to notify people that, hey, there's a big event going on, I'd love to see something like every time I load back to my base where it's like, hey, you haven't participated in the Umbral Rift, make sure you jump in. Or maybe something up here in the hangar that says, like, hey, you have unused vehicles, join the Umbral Rift. Because, like, this doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't tell me it's a league event. When you click on it and start it for the first time, it doesn't even really do a good job of explaining to you what you should be doing. I had to kind of piece everything together as I went. So, long and short of this video, I wanted to tell you guys, hey, the Umbral Rift exists, right? Make sure that you are checking your league screen throughout the week to pay attention to when your scheduled time is. So, like, our next scheduled time is going to be August 6th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. So, I'm going to probably try to get our Discord together by then, get a bunch of people to join up, say, hey, like, this event, it's a tough window, but we get tons of rewards if we are the number 1 league, right? If you're number 1, does it even show you? It doesn't show you. But yeah, so just being able to see what's going on a little bit easier, breaking down the reward structure a little easier so it's easier to kind of read. Again, the game is in early access, so we shouldn't be expecting the world, but just some, common sense critiques. Make it more accessible, either with a bigger time window or more accessibility for people to see that something big is going on for your league. Making sure that you have lots of teams is going to be a big thing. Making sure you get your own vehicles unlocked is going to be a big thing. And of course, coordinating as a league. And that seems to be the number one thing, that if you can coordinate your league even a little bit for like an hour to 2 hours, you're going to be able to take home some pretty big prizes per person for your league. So make sure that if you are wanting to really smash and really do great in DC Dark Legion, you're going to need to find a league with a bit of interaction to it. But friends, that is all I have for you guys in this video. If you found this information useful, please make sure you like and subscribe. That's free for you, really helps out the channel. We are almost at our first monetization milestone, so thank you guys so much for your support. I hope to see you guys keep coming to the channel. If you want to see more DC Dark Legion content, make sure you comment down below. Let me know what you want to see so I know what kind of videos to make for y'all. And as always, friends, long days, pleasant nights, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next one.